Legal Studies. In this video, I'll go through a sample answer to the 10-mark question, critically evaluate Parliament's effectiveness as a lawmaker. This is how I'll structure it. I'll start off by telling the examiner, in one sentence, what my contention or argument is. Then I'll discuss 5 strengths and their corresponding weaknesses before coming to a one-sentence conclusion stating whether or not I think that Parliament is an effective lawmaker. Let's give it a go. Overall, Parliament is essential to our legal system and is generally effective, but it does have some weaknesses as a lawmaker. Firstly, Parliament's main role is to make law. That means it is the best equipped and most well-resourced body to make and pass legislation. Although Parliament has this role, it does not have total power. The Constitution places restrictions on federal Parliament by stating that it cannot make law on certain areas, for example, on religion. Furthermore, federal Parliament cannot change the Constitution without having to hold a referendum. Another strength of Parliament is that it has the power to make laws on entire areas of law. Victorian Parliament, for instance, has the Crimes Act. It drafted and implemented that act to cover all crimes in Victoria. A downside of this is that acts might need to be worded broadly, which often inadvertently creates loopholes and ambiguities in the law. Parliaments are also representatives. That means that they're made up of elected officials whose role it is to represent their constituents in Parliament. That means that laws are often made to reflect the views on society. Yet, parliaments are not always completely representative. Big corporations often donate money to political campaigns to make sure that their interests are represented after an election. Members of Parliament, therefore, may be making laws in the interest of those with money rather than the majority of people. Fourthly, Parliament ensures that the people are represented through a number of channels. Issues before Parliament are publicly aired and debate occurs amongst Parliament and the community. Parliament is well resourced and funded, which means that it has time to thoroughly study a bill and make sure it reflects community attitudes before the bill passes through the legislative process. However, the extensive debate may actually hinder the passage of a bill. Parliaments are often unwilling to legislate on controversial areas, fearing that it will lose them votes in the next election. A final strength of Parliament is that it can act quickly if there is a crisis. In 2008, in the midst of the global financial crisis, Kevin Rudd's government passed their economic stimulus package 10 days after announcing the package to the public. However, this strength is not always consistent, as Parliament is not always sitting. In 2014, for example, the House of Representatives only sat for 72 days. Therefore, Parliament does work overall as a lawmaker, but has several flaws that could be rectified to improve the legal system. So that's what you'll need for a 10-mark question on Parliament as a lawmaker: a contention, 5 strengths and weaknesses, and a conclusion. Don't be limited to strengths and weaknesses mentioned in this video. Throughout the year, you'll come across plenty of examples of your own. Catch you next time.